Funky Fry says, I think my great-great-grandpa who was blown apart to free the slaves was payment enough, especially considering I or no one in my family has ever owned slaves. So there's a couple of questions I get out of this. This is interesting. So if this man is telling the truth and his an ancestor died to end slavery and his family never owned slaves, if we do reparations, should we also create an exception that anybody who is not descendant of slave owners is exempt from the tax that would fund the reparations?
Anybody who is not a descendant of slaves
would have a tax credit exemption from any taxes that would go towards reparations.
I'd have to think about that, but it doesn't matter. I'm not saying it doesn't matter that his ancestors died fighting in the Civil War. Okay, you go and you fight for your country. You go and you fight for your land. Like, listen, an American just died the other day over in Ukraine. Okay, that was his choice to go there and fight. All right. So does his family get some kind of reparations? I don't think so. Okay. We fought against Japan. Do these people still get reparations? Why is it cut off when black people don't get any reparations? Black people who were descendants of slaves. That is the racism, and I'm calling that guy who just wrote you a racist.
Why is he racist?
Why is he racist? Because he does not see the racism that was perpetrated by his country against people like me and my ancestors. Thank you for your great-grandfather's service for fighting in the Civil War against slavery. But if you can't see that black people in this country have not received the same apology for one and the same reparations for another that Japanese Americans have received and that Native Americans have received, something is wrong. You're blind.
I don't think he's saying that. I think he's just saying that for you to say that he should pay.
I didn't say he should pay. What did I say? I said the government should pay.
But the government takes money from him.
Listen, we all pay taxes.
Right. So if we all pool our money together for, say, the common defense and services, and then you step up and say, I want to take from that pool because of reparations, he says, okay, well, hold on. My family member died for you. Is that enough? You say, no, you're a racist. I think that's kind of...
you can't. You also... just because you're anti-reparations does not mean that you're racist. There are many black people who are not...
He didn't say anything.
No, I'm not talking about him. I'm saying
for you to call him a racist when he's simply saying, don't take from me.
I'm not taking from him.
I don't think you can call... You can't call someone a racist over
listen,
like that.
I'm calling him a racist.
But you don't know him, Daryl.
I'm calling him a racist, and I'm standing behind what I say. And listen, we all have to pay taxes. When you drive down the road, you are not allowed to use the HOV lane if you don't have 2 people in your car, or HOV 3 people in your car. If you're riding by yourself and you drive down that lane, you will get a ticket if a cop sees you. All right, I've done that and I've gotten a ticket. All right, not because I'm black, but because I was driving down the HOV lane with one person, me, in the car. All right, guess what? I pay taxes, and my taxes built that road.
What if he said?
Okay, why can't I use that lane?
Can he get reparations for his great grandfather dying? Should the government pay him for the loss of his grandfather?
Right now, I'm talking about black descendants of slaves. Okay. Now, if he wants to get reparations from the government because his great-great-grandfather died, that's his fight. Convince me, and I will stand behind him.
But do you think that if he went to the government and said, I should, and the government said yes, and they took tax money and gave it to him, tax money that you pay, would you be okay with that?
Not if I'm not getting any reparations, no.
Well, then why should he, after his great-grandfather died, think that he should give his tax?
You're missing the point.
Well,
because when it comes to giving black people something, you all are saying, no, cut it off here.
No,
it stops here.
We're not.
That's not.
Bullshit. Because you've already acknowledged Japanese Americans are getting it. Native Americans are getting it. So what is the problem?
I said it was wrong.
Well, whether you say it's wrong or not.
I said racial disbursement of money
hold on.
is wrong.
Whether you say it's wrong or not, it's happening. What are you doing to stop it?
I do a show where I say it's wrong.
Oh, that's not stopping it, is it?
I mean, I vote. It inspires other people to vote. It has an influential impact on people sharing ideas.
Well,
we allow people
the point
talk
is,
to us and share
okay, I tell you
ideas.
What, once everybody, okay, should the people who
first of all,
should the descendants of the Tulsa race riot, the Black Wall Street descendants, should they get reparations?
From the people who committed the atrocities, maybe people in that. In
the people who committed the atrocities are dead.
So then what do you do? Do you punish the living, the sins of the father? See, the issue I have with this is that
did I say punish? What did I say?
Well,
I said specifically
the
sins of the father.
Who is paying for it? Who takes? Who,
the U.S. government pays for it, whether it comes out of your taxes or whether it comes out of their Fort Knox or wherever it comes from. The U.S. government pays for it.
It would be the Federal Reserve. They'd print a bunch of money and then it would cause inflation.
Right.
That's, I think, why they haven't done it.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Why didn't people think about that before when they were murdering Indians and murdering?
But those things are all bad. Like
but the point is, you keep driving home. This is where I draw the line. You know what you're saying, Tim, is racist, whether you are or whether you're not.
I think
it's
you're
racist. Well, that's fine. You can think whatever you want to think. I don't care. My point is, when it comes to uplifting black people, the line is drawn.
Nobody said that.
Did I say anybody said it?
You said we all did, several times.
I said what you're saying is wrong. But I said when it comes to uplifting black people, the line is drawn. When it comes to uplifting this person or that person, it's already been done.
I wasn't alive.
It's being done.
I wasn't alive.
It doesn't matter whether you were alive or not. It happened.
So I wasn't alive when they interned Japanese people. My family actually suffered because I come from an Asian background and they were spit on and treated horribly.
No doubt.
And the only thing I can say is that I was born into a world with problems and we advocate for solving those problems. But I don't think that racial policies solve those problems. I think that's what we're fighting against.
Yeah,
we're fighting against the government creating racial segregation because we want people to come together and live together and work together. And so what we end up seeing is
okay. So how do people come together when this person has $10 and that one only has 50 cents, and this one keeps getting $10 and that one only gets 50 cents?
Well, this is why I said I think it's a problem that they disperse money based on race. I wasn't alive when they started.
I didn't say disperse money based on race. I said disperse money based upon those people who suffered from crime due to racism.
Okay, but that means white people, a lot of white people
committed those crimes.
No, they'll get the money. A lot of white people who are overtly white with blonde hair and blue eyes still have slave ancestors. I'm not saying millions.
Then fine.
I just don't agree with giving white people reparations.
No, you want to give people opportunity, not money. Money could be part of it.
Did I say money?
You said it doesn't have to be money.
Right.
Resources. Like the idea that we're gonna try and you're going to see some, rich white family who's like, actually one of our ancestors was a slave. We're 164th, and that person was a part of our family. And then all of a sudden this waspy family is like getting a voucher for college.
Yeah, that's what I want to avoid. I think that the only way we can do it is uplift everyone together. I think if you can create software or some sort of technology that allows people with or without money to create a business, to start their own entrepreneurship and get subscriptions from people, then you're uplifting everyone, because a lot of times it's the poor that are suffering right now. If someone's like you said, you wouldn't take money if there was a system like this where they're handing out checks, or you just said earlier you wouldn't. I don't know,
right?
Because you don't need it. But these people that need it, they need opportunity.
Well, what about tax credits? What about like a tax break or something like that?
There are many different things that can be given in lieu of money. Maybe a tax credit, maybe a tuition. I'd have to think that through, or have other people who have more intelligence than I do think it through. All right, but something needs to be done, and nothing has been done for the descendants of slaves. That is my point. Okay, something has been done for the descendants of Native Americans. Something has been done for the descendants of Japanese Americans. But when it comes to people who look like me, the line is drawn. We have never even received an apology for slavery. Telling me slavery is wrong, well, shit, so what? Okay, yeah, it's wrong. But telling me we're sorry it happened is a whole different thing.
Is affirmative action something to assist in this way? It's overtly race-based.
Affirmative action has many different definitions, just like critical race theory. I don't, like I said before, with affirmative action, I do not believe in lowering the bar of standards. I believe in keeping the bar up, and people aspire to hit that bar, not lower the bar so people can reach it. Keep it up. I believe in affirmative education, where everybody has the opportunity to better themselves and go out and get better jobs. Okay, as you mentioned, give people opportunities. They don't have the opportunities if they're not educated.
When I think about
and even those people who are educated, like myself, okay, I still experience discrimination when it comes to jobs.
Yeah, people need to learn how to run their own business as a young kid, regardless of where they go to school or their age or any of that stuff. People need to learn that stuff. You know, when I think about apologizing for slavery, I have a hard time doing it for real because it's horrible. Like, to enslave humans is horrific. The Uyghurs in China, that's horrific that this computer was made by slaves in part. But like, if it hadn't happened the way it happened, we wouldn't be here. And that, I like that we're here. So I wouldn't change it. I mean, maybe if I could go back and say, no, it wasn't a slavery. Maybe it would have been conquered by, you know, the Mexicans or the Portuguese, or like, who knows where we'd be. So that's why I have a hard time just outright giving like a genuine, like, I'm sorry it happened, because it didn't happen to you. So I want to apologize to, if I saw somebody, I don't know, man. Getting beef.
All right. Let me give you an example of something. Okay, true story. I was giving a lecture at Michigan State University some years ago in Lansing, Michigan. All right, and this white girl, you know, we're talking about apologies and stuff, and she says, you know, why should we apologize? Now she was not a racist. Okay, what she was saying was racist, but she was not a racist. I could see that. She's like, why should we apologize? I mean, I wasn't around when slavery was happening. Nobody in my family owned slaves. Why should I apologize for what my great ancestors did? You know, I wasn't responsible for that. And I said, the apology is symbolic. Nobody is around, all right? Just like, you know, you give medals posthumously. It's symbolic, all right? People cannot move forward until they have received an apology for wrongdoing to them. And I said to her, I said, listen, it was in November when I was lecturing out there. I said, okay, let's say I'm a student here at Michigan State. I said, and I live in the dorm, and I live, you know, on the East Coast. You live here in Michigan, and you say, and you and I are friends, and you say to me, hey, are you going home for Thanksgiving? And I say, no, I can't afford to go home for Thanksgiving. I'm going to save my money and go home for Christmas vacation. Okay, and then you tell me, oh, well, you know, my grandparents told me, you know, if I wanted to, I could ask some of my students, you know, who weren't going home, if they wanted to come over for Thanksgiving dinner. You know, would you like to come? And I say, sure. Okay, so now I'm invited to her grandparents for Thanksgiving. So she comes by my dormitory, picks me up, takes me over to her grandparents' house, along with some other students. Now, let's say her grandfather didn't realize that she was going to bring a black student home. This guy's a little older. He makes some racist remarks or whatever that offends me. I said to her, I said, what are you going to say to me on the way back to the dorm? And she said, I'm going to say, I'm sorry about what my grandfather said. I said, but you know what? You didn't make that remark. Your grandfather did. You are apologizing for your ancestor. I said, I can't change how your grandfather feels, okay? But I appreciate the fact that you acknowledge that it's wrong and you say you're sorry for it.
A real apology would be to confront the grandfather as it happens and be like, dude, we're in the 21st century. Grow up. Look at the eyeballs.
I want to read some more super chats. So there's a bunch that are saying very similar things. So I'm not going to read. I'm just going to give the general ideas. There's two interesting ideas. Many people have said that they think you're a racist.
Fine.
And a couple right here. We have one from Kyle. We have one from Kevin D, who both said, I'm white. Kyle says, as a white dude, I've had the talk. I'm pretty sure everyone has the talk. Kevin says, I'm white, grew up in the middle class family in a suburb in Los Angeles, and I had the talk. And others have said that they think your view of the talk being explicitly a black thing shows that you've been radicalized.
I didn't say explicitly.
Well, you said it's something that black families do.
I said black families do it. I didn't say explicitly. Well, that's your word.
Well, so the general idea that I guess people absorbed by that is that you think it's exclusive.
Listen, I never said it was exclusive. I didn't use the word exclusive. I didn't use the word explicit.
Well, so we can clarify.
I said black families give their boys, when they turn 16, something called the talk. I said black families do that. Did I say black families do it exclusively?
Well, no.
Did I say black families do it explicitly?
So
no, I did not. So that guy is putting words in my mouth.
Well, no. So I guess the idea they're conveying is that when you say black families do it, they interpret you as saying as if it's not happening elsewhere.
Guess what? Black families listen to James Brown. Does that mean no white people listen to James
Oh, I
Brown?
listen to James Brown.
Okay, so do black families exclusively listen to James Brown?
Well, so you're clarifying.
I'm clarifying. I'm clarifying his BS. Is what I'm calling BS on him. Now, white. Hold on. Let me tell you about the talk. Okay, the talk that black kids get is the one that I described, about the same one that you described about keep your hands on the wheel, don't argue, sign the ticket, we'll fight it in court. Okay, otherwise, you could come home in a box. All right.
Well, so
now a lot of white people get the talk, but most of the white people that get the talk is a different talk.
How do you know?
Because I have a lot of white friends, okay, who tell me.
So
all right.
I have a lot of black friends who tell me
well,
something.
Well, that's fine. Okay,
I mean, that makes no sense.
But hold on.
That makes no sense.
You haven't even heard what I said. You're cutting me off
generalizing
already.
based on race.
Huh?
You're generalizing based on race.
You just said you had a lot of black friends.
I was making a sarcastic point to counter your racist point.
You haven't even let me finish my point.
So,
okay. Hold on. I'm gonna finish my point. Okay. A lot of white kids get the talk, but it's not the same talk as the black kids get the talk because they don't have the same experiences. The talk that a lot of the white kids get is when they start driving, don't get pregnant, don't come home pregnant, use condoms. I don't want to be a grandfather or grandmother before my time. I think that's the talk that a lot of white kids get. I challenge you. Hold on. I challenge you to. You say you have a lot of black friends. Great.
No.
Hold on. I know you're being. Well, maybe you don't have any, but find some. Okay.
Okay.
But hold on.
I'm going to clarify that. When you made a racist generalization, I made a sarcastic point.
What was my racist generalization?
That you have a lot of white friends, therefore you know what white people in general do.
Did I say I know what white people in general do?
Yes, you did.
I said most white kids get this talk.
No,
I didn't
they
say
don't.
all white. Yes, they do.
You don't know
Yes,
that.
they do. Yes, I do.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do.
Did you grow up in a white family in a suburb?
I grew up in white neighborhoods. I went to white schools.
When we have people saying to us right now, it's not their experience. And you say, well, they're racist and wrong.
I didn't say they're racist and wrong.
You called the guy racist. You overtly said this man was racist.
I said what he said was racist. I didn't say he was a racist.
Well, but this is the key. No, this is the key. No, Daryl, I haven't spoken in a while. I need to say something. Seriously, we need to stop overtly calling people racists. I
will call a person a racist if I see that they are a racist.
Well, I'm just saying.
Or invert.
I'm just saying. At this table, I know and love you all, and I know for a fact that nobody at this table is a racist. 100%. Maybe certain racial comments can be made, but I know that for 100%, like 100%. So the fact that like these names are getting thrown around, I don't think it's really productive. Well, I'm not saying you can't call someone racist. I'm not saying racists don't exist. But I think we need to be very careful.
All this dude said is, as a white dude, I've had the talk. I'm pretty sure everyone has the talk.
Well, see, he's pretty sure everyone has the talk. So now you're going to defend him. He's pretty sure everyone has the talk. But yet when but you accuse me of saying all white people, and now I'm a racist and I don't know shit, but he says everyone and you're not defending him.
Well, let me explain. When he says everyone, he means you too.
Everyone has the talk? I know a lot of people haven't had the talk.
Well, sure.
A lot of white people haven't had the talk.
Well, sure. But now you're just getting semantics.
No. I'm reacting to what he said.
So
he said everyone, and you didn't get on him, but you got on me for saying a lot of white people.
Because I don't like the racist generalizations. Like I don't like it when someone says one race does one thing.
This country is based on race. Okay, there is only I believe there is only one race. It is a human race. Okay, one race. You and I are the same race. Ian and I, Bill and I are the same race. We all are the same race, the human race. But this country has divided us by color. And if you don't believe that, you need to go back and learn your history, which you apparently have not learned if you don't see that. And if they don't see that, this country is predicated on race.
But
this country was built on white supremacy and slavery at the bottom.
So I think a lot of people, especially me, we agreed with you with like so much of the historical problems and racism and civil rights and all that stuff.
But you think it's all over?
No, I literally said that wasn't.
So what's your point?
So when you say something that is dividing people based on race and people take issue with it, you recoil, you call them racist.
Do you not see this country dividing people based on race? You think we live in a post-racist society because we had a black president or something? A lot of white people think that too.
Understand.
I've heard white people say racism is over. We've had Obama.
Well, but we're not saying that. I'm saying, one of the things that I'll just say triggered me was this idea that there are certain things you've suffered that are either described only as a black experience, or in this instance, when people felt when you said black families give their kids the talk, the response was them saying, I'm white and I've had the talk. And some people saying they feel like that was you showing you're radicalized to as a racial component.
Well, that's pretty stupid, and that's pretty racist. So I just called somebody stupid, and I just called them racist.
So
now hold on. I can speak as a black man. So why is it when I say I as a black man got the talk, I am racializing something? I am black. That is my experience.
Said white people do X, and you're not a white
person.
person.
I didn't say white people do X. I said
you did.
I said I'm black.
And you said white people have a different talk. They do this.
They do.
You can't speak as a white person, can you?
I can speak. I can repeat what white people have told me.
But you don't.
Are you denying that white people have told me that? Are you calling them liars?
That's not.
No, I'm asking you that question.
That has nothing to do with what we're talking about.
Answer yes or no. Are you calling my white friends liars?
I'm calling them anecdotal.
Anecdotal. So you're saying that they did not have the talk that I told you that they had.
No. Anecdotal means you heard a few
I know what
stories.
anecdotal means.
So the issue is if you have your stories and they have their stories, it's a moot point. Meaning,
no, it's not a moot point.
Some white people experience the talk in great degrees. And
have you experienced everything I've experienced?
No. What you're saying
and vice versa.
Yeah, dude. It's evidence. What you're saying is evidence, and then what these guys saying is evidence. None of it proves anything, but we're all given our anecdotal evidence.
What do you mean it doesn't prove anything?
Well, like our statements today, we, whatever you say and whatever I say, it doesn't prove it. It's just a piece of evidence towards the postulation.
I don't understand what you mean. It doesn't prove anything. So he tells me that he got pulled over at gunpoint and he got handcuffed and some guy tried to plant Adderall in his car. I just said it's a moot point. It didn't happen. It's just an anecdote.
Well, that would be evidence that there is more crime towards people like him in that area or something like that. It wouldn't prove that it's always more crime towards people like him in that area. It doesn't prove it, but it's evidence suggesting that it's real. And I think you saying
suggesting that it's real, it is real. He experienced it. I don't doubt that he experienced that.
It's actually on
video.
Well,
listen,
when you speak from the greater whole,
when it's on video or not, I believe it happened to you because that crap was happening long before you were born. So I don't need the video to know that it happened. You know why I know it happened? Because it happened to me, not at gunpoint. Similar things. I've been hearing about that shit long before anybody had video cameras other than TV stations.
When you say you experienced something like the talk or a white person told me the talk, and then a white person from their own personal experiences say that this is what happens to me, why would they be wrong or racist?
Did I say they were wrong? Listen, there are white people, yes, who get to talk, keep your hands on the wheel. Don't argue with the cops, whatever, all right? But there are also plenty of white kids who get to talk, don't come home pregnant, use condoms, all right? We get to talk when we get stopped by the police, when we start driving, obey the speed limit, don't do anything to raise suspicion, to cause somebody to pull you over. Because hold on.
Are you saying that doesn't happen to other people? Like it
does not happen with the frequency. Like I told you earlier. Hold on. I'm telling you the frequency. Okay, which you debated with me and was the first time you called me a racist. I told you that I have been pulled over more times than you have, and I have. Whether you want to accept it or not, I have.
That's objectively true. You're older than me too.
It doesn't matter. I still have, even if you and I were the same age. Okay.
In the last 5 years.
Yes. Okay, yes. Now, I want you to do something, both of you, and you too if you want. Here's an experiment, okay? You said you had some black friends. I assume you do. You also have some white friends. I want all of y'all, ask 10 of your white friends, male friends, what is the first thing, and you people out there listening, you do the same thing. Ask 10 of your white male friends, what is the first thing that goes through your mind when you're driving home late at night, let's say 2 o'clock in the morning, whatever, from a date or from getting off work, whatever, and you see those lights come on in your rearview mirror, those flashing lights. You're being pulled over. Maybe you were speeding, maybe you weren't, maybe you crossed, swerved, whatever, maybe you didn't, whatever, you're being pulled over. What's the first thing that goes through your mind? I will bet you 10 out of 10 or 9 out of 10 of those white males, your friends, are going to say, I hope I don't get a ticket. I hope I don't get points on my license. I hope my insurance doesn't go up. You ask the same question to 10 of your black male friends, they're not going to say anything about a damn ticket or points on the license or insurance. They're going to say, I hope I don't get shot. I hope I don't get beat up.
Why
because there is a more frequency of violence against black male drivers than white male drivers. Okay? Just like there is more of a frequency of blacks being sentenced to death and whites for the same crime get to go to prison for life or life with parole. Okay? That is called racism. And that's why black people get that talk. I'm not saying white people don't get the talk, but black people's lives are more in danger. And that's why Black Lives Matter was created, okay? I'm not saying I'm a proponent of that movement or whatever. I'm just telling you why it was created, okay? Because of the things that were happening to black people where they were not happening to white people in the same situation.
Well, Black Lives Matter was started over Trayvon Martin.
That's right.
And Zimmerman's a Hispanic guy. And the...
Zimmerman, he is of Hispanic descent, but Zimmerman enjoyed what is called white privilege.
That's critical race theory. The idea that white
that's
people...
your definition of critical race theory.
Well, Kimberly Crenshaw, I can pull it up right here for you.
Listen, that's your definition of critical
Whiteness
race theory.
as property, in which she described how passing led to benefits akin to owning property. Yeah, this is Cheryl L. Harris in the Harvard Law Review, and citation for it is Crenshaw et al. 1995. So this idea that because Zimmerman, I mean, I disagree. I don't think he looked white. I think he looked like a Mexican guy. And further, the news lied about what Zimmerman did. NBC edited his phone call to make it seem like he was racially profiling when he wasn't. So the narrative that emerged from that was actually fabricated.
Okay, do you remember, well, you're probably too young for that, but you know about it, the O.J. Simpson trial?
Yeah.
Do you remember O.J.'s picture on the cover of Time magazine and Newsweek?
No.
Okay, well then you guys need to research that, okay? Time magazine and Newsweek magazine came out the same day. Time magazine intentionally darkened O.J. Simpson's picture, darker than his skin tone, because the blacker you are, the more evil you are. There you go.
Wow.
Voila. That is racism.
Yeah.
I don't give a damn what you all say. You can call
agree.
it critical race theory. You can call it whatever the hell you want to call it. That is racism. That is what this country is predicated upon, to turn white people against people of darker skin. And that's why I get pulled over more than you and more than you and more than your 10 white friends.
But Newsweek didn't darken his skin?
Well, I can't tell.
Did you see, listen, you can argue all you want. There's your picture right there.
One is showing a
One is
darker version of the other.
one is showing O.J. Simpson in his real skin tone, and the other one is showing him darkened. And Time magazine did that intentionally.
But Newsweek didn't.
I don't know if they did or not, but look at that.
Yeah.
Okay, that's how I know O.J. Simpson. I don't know him personally.
I think the media is garbage.
Huh?
I think the media is overtly racist and trash. I think they employ some of the most vile racists.
Whoa. You're saying all media? Oh, my goodness.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no.
Well, it's like
no.
this Council on Foreign Relations media.
You're the media. You're the media.
Sure.
I'm not calling you a racist. I don't think everybody here is racist.
No, I'm just so disdainful of corporate press. So we usually the colloquial definition.
So is
of
everybody at Time magazine responsible for that?
Yes.
Really?
Oh, I'm not going to swear.
Even the peons?
Yes.
No, not the cheap workers. It's some brainchild.
If you guys listen to this show, you know my position on all of this. If you stand beneath the infrastructure, holding it up as they do things that are wrong, and you know they're doing it wrong, I will hold you responsible.
You know, the Chinese have this term called bait soi, which means white liberal. Like that's
white left.
White left,
Yeah,
which
white
is
left.
Inherently, I feel like a lot of this racism is being seeded. Like it didn't up until, I'm not saying it didn't exist, but in like the early 2000s, it felt like we were coming together. It felt like it. I felt like it. Did you feel like it in that?
I see progress all the time, okay? I think right now, there are people who would disagree with me, but I would say right now is one of the best times in our country, even though we're so divided, all right? Because the wool is being pulled back. The carpet is being pulled back, and we're seeing all the dirt. People are saying how they feel, what they're thinking, etc. It's hard to address something when people are hiding in the closet or hiding behind a smile and stab you in the back. Right now, people are expressing their views. It's very divisive, but this is the best time because now we know what people are thinking. We know how to address them, rather than be a what do you call it? A wolf in sheep's clothing.
Okay, YouTube literally just deleted all of the super chats.
Oh.
Yep. No